How long did it take from when you finally made the decision and said that you were going to do this? Like, I'm going to come out with a skincare line. How long did it take from the time you went into the lab or, started playing around with stuff to actually launching the brand?
9 months.
Okay.
I
just had a baby.
I have a girlfriend, a very long time industry expert. She writes for beauty periodicals, and she's developing a skincare line too. And when I told her, hey, I'm launching, she's like, 9 months, that's not very long. And I'm a hustler like that.
I love it.
Saw what I want. I did my work. I did my research. I knew what I wanted. I did, and then I kept researching, like, what do I need to put this in place? So I need to hire a web person. I need to hire, a social media person. I need to hire somebody to set up my e-commerce store. Like, I'm just gonna do it. Mm-hmm. So that was 9 months. And then it's been not quite a year since we launched officially, like website, store open last December.
Welcome to the Friends in Beauty podcast, a safe space for ambitious beauty industry creatives to have real talk, get authentic answers, and practical tools to grow their businesses. Join me every week as me and my special guest reveal the keys to longevity and success in the beauty industry, from the ups and downs of their journey to the nitty-gritty of their struggles and triumphs. We're spilling the tea on it all, and most importantly, having fun while doing it. You ready? Hey, what's up? It's your best friend in beauty, Aquia Robinson. Welcome back to another episode of the Friends in Beauty podcast. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope you're listening to this episode in high spirits and in good health. I'm so excited because today I welcome Colleen Carey to the Friends in Beauty guest chair. She is the founder and creative director of Skin RX, that is providing skin-driven solutions to our skincare. So welcome to the Friends of Beauty podcast, Colleen.
Thank you, sweetie. I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you. When I learned about your brand, it was like a no-brainer. I was like, oh yeah, I definitely have to have you on the podcast for several reasons. I saw that you used to be I don't know if you still are a makeup artist and esthetician. So I'm like, yeah, I got to talk to her.
That was many moons ago that I was that. Now I'm a business owner, but that was my background as a young person. Yeah.
I love that. We're definitely going to dive into that a little bit later, but I would love to start off with some icebreakers just to get us warmed up, and so the Friends in Beauty audience can get to know you a little bit outside of what you do for your brand.
Okay.
So, yeah. So the first one, give us 3 random facts about you.
Ooh, okay. I have 2 kids that I'm obsessed with. My son Charlie's 12, my daughter's 13. After I graduated from college, I lived in Mexico and bartended at this bar called Coconuts and made so much money. I came home with more money than I left with.
I love that.
And third, my favorite place to visit is Nantucket Island in Massachusetts.
Nice. I love those random facts.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
That's my happy place. It's my coastal grandmother vibe. It's so laid back. It's such a magical island.
Wow. I have to go visit there then.
It's pretty chill. If you want to have a good time, well, Nantucket can turn up, but Martha's Vineyard has more of a scene.
Okay, I love that. When you're in Mexico,
coastal grandmother, like desolate beach, you know, it's like picking flowers, and
I love that. So that's my vibe. I like that.
The older I get, like, been there, done that. I just want to,
yeah, wind down, just relax a little bit.
Yes.
You was bartending in Mexico. What part of Mexico were you in?
There's this little island off Cancun called Isla Mujeres.
Okay.
And I was just backpacking around after I graduated, and I found a job. I found an apartment. It was a very international island, so people from all over the world. Yeah. And so we would just like go to the beach and play volleyball all day. And then all the boaters, the fishermen would come in the evenings, and they were these sport fishermen. They'd all come to the bars and we'd all hang out and then go out dancing. It was a time. It was a good time for a 22-year-old.
That's the life right there. And that's what a lot of people are doing now, like moving overseas, having those kind of experiences. And I love it.
Yeah, I mean, since COVID and working from home, like right now, I'm in my home office.
Yeah.
I can, this weekend, my daughter and I are going to New York City to see the launch of my product line in a store there, in a boutique in Soho. And I
Nice.
can just like take my laptop with me and check emails. So that makes sense. People can work from anywhere.
And I love that you're taking your daughter with you so she can see that. She's going to remember that for the rest of her life. I love that.
She's my little bestie. She's my bestie.
Love it. What's one thing that we would never guess about you? You have any hidden talents or any quirks?
Plenty of those. I can sleep more than anyone I've ever met. I can sleep. I can stay in bed for like 2 days straight and just sleep. Sleep is my stress relief. It's my checkout time. Like my mom's always been like, "What is wrong with you?"
Hey.
So it's not the weirdest quirk ever, but it's just something like, people can like get up and get at it. I can stay in bed for days and like sleep. So
I could take a nap at any moment. It's so many people I know that are like, I can't take naps. I don't know how you do that. I'm like, girl, just close your eyes and take a nap. Like I could take a nap at the drop of a dime. Like I don't play those games.
as long as I have a blanket, like, yeah.
I love that. I have these random deck of cards called pod decks. And this is a what the heck and a would you rather. Which one would you like?
Ooh, would you rather?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Fun. I don't play these games.
Let's not scare Colleen away. Oh, this is cute. Would you rather be able to erase people's memory or predict their future?
Erase their memory. Right. Think about all the mistakes we've made and the people that know about it. The people, let's get rid of that. Okay. That never happened. It never happened.
I love that thinking.
Poof. You didn't see me do that. You didn't hear me did that.
That's so true. But then like if you predict people's future, well, people get paid for that. That's like a psychic or something. Like, so yeah, erase memories. Yeah.
And I'm somebody that's so like, I look forward to what's ahead, like starting a business and everything. Like it's a fun challenge. So I'm not afraid of the future. And I know that like, no matter how hard you try to plan something, life, the universe is going to throw some curveball. So I just like too hard. Like it'd be too hard to know the future.
I got you.
Just experience it.
Absolutely. I see you got your cup there. Are you a coffee or a tea person?
This is my espresso girlfriend. Coffee's too acidic. And so I have 2 shots of espresso with water. It's like an Americano.
I love that. Okay. What do people always tell you?
I was caffeinated for our talk,
You need the caffeine. I know people that are like, I cannot operate without my coffee in the morning. Like, don't even talk to me until I have my coffee. Yeah.
You're gonna make me get out of bed, then caffeinate.
I need coffee. Absolutely. What do people always tell you that you're good at aside from what you do for your business?
This one would choke me up. I'm most proud. I've messed up in so many ways in my life. And I'm most proud of being a mom. My kids are such good kids. They're awesome people, and I'm proud of them. They're hard workers. They're polite. They're talented. They're beautiful.
Aww.
They're just happy kids. And that's like the one thing that I've done best in my life is be a mom. I'm a single mom, and we go on vacations together. They're my buddies. We hang out together. We have dinners together, and I love being with them, and I'm really proud of the people they're turning into.
I love that. That is awesome, and I can't imagine. I have a cat. I have a cat. I'm a cat mom. So a mother of humans. I can't. I can only imagine. What that feels like. And like I said, you taking your daughter with you to the thing in New York, the opening for your products in the store, like priceless moments like that. My mom is the same way. She's always like, I loved having y'all around. So I wasn't trying to leave y'all with anybody, or I
Yeah.
love having y'all. So we got to experience a lot.
Yeah. Same. Speaking of cats, I have two. One was right here, so I was just looking to see if she might come back and join us. She might sit over here and
Yeah, mines might pop out at any given moment. I love that. Yay, cat ladies. When is the last time that you did something for the first time?
oh, what?
You?
All. I've done it all. What's something I've done for the first time? Oh my God.
Something new.
I'm such a crotchety old lady. I'm so like a creature of habit. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I'm the same way. I tend to do the same things a lot, but I be trying to like push myself to do new things. Even when I go to restaurants, like one thing is like I love Thai food. So if I go to a Thai restaurant, I literally like order the same thing since I was like 14.
Totally. I'm the same way. I'd say that it was last year in 2022. I started working out at this gym that was a CrossFit gym, but they also had a barbell side. And so I started like weightlifting, like weight training, like deadlifting and squats and stuff like that. I'd
Okay.
never done that before in my life. Like, you use little hand weight,
Mhm.
but this was the first time I was like using a bar, like up over here, squatting, with a belt on, like that powerlifting kind of stuff. And let me tell you, this was like right after I went through a divorce. And so, I wasn't feeling in my power and,
Mhm.
fully confident and strong.
Yeah.
And I mean, this, of course, physically you feel strong, but mentally it made me feel so strong. And as a woman, like going through that and being so hurt and, trying to move forward, it was
Yeah.
so powerful. And I would just encourage anyone to, I mean, do it under supervision because you can get hurt, but to try weightlifting. It is
Okay.
so cool. So that was something new to me a year ago, and I absolutely loved it.
I love it. Are you still doing it?
Not so much because then that was about the same time that Skin RX really started taking off.
Okay.
Oh, I feel like, and then being a single mom and my kids are primarily with me. And, like I drive them or I'm that mom, starting at 3, like they're both in sports and they have practices and then
Yeah.
feed them and then work during the day and trying to grow this business.
Mm.
Um, I feel like right now, Skinner X is really my priority other than my
Okay.
kids. So
Gotcha.
I kind of backed off the gym. I'm like, but my kids are going to grow up. They're going to move away and start their own lives. Skinner X is going to get to a place where we're like stable and just on cruise control. Right now,
Hmm.
it's still the first year, so I'm still building. So I'm
Okay.
like, I can get back to my hobbies. That's kind of like talking about the future and not knowing what's going to happen. I'm like, I can get back to those things when I have more time, but these are my priorities right now.
Got you. I feel you. I feel you on that. If you weren't the founder of Skin RX, is there anything you could see yourself doing right now? Anything else? Other passions?
You know what? I love to cook, like gourmet, like rosemary lamb chops, like,
Fancy.
scallop potatoes, like a really beautiful meal. Like
Mhm.
go and make a really nice, filet and make it for my kids on the stovetop. I love cooking. And I don't do it enough because again, I feel like at this point, it's like my son's got football practice, my daughter has a tennis match, and then we get home
Mhm.
and it's like, who wants heated up macaroni and cheese? Like, so I don't do that enough. and I look forward to when I'll get back to that.
I love that. Well, thanks for sharing. We absolutely learned a lot about you in the icebreakers. So you said that you started Skin RX a year ago. How's it going? How's business?
Girl, it is about to take off.
Yes.
And I don't know if I should be like, sending that out there, but it's like
Course.
we're coming up on the 1 year mark. And I've been so dedicated, and I have a wonderful team, a support team. And we just, like I said, this weekend, we're launching in a store, a upscale boutique in New York City. And we're building a new website that's going to be way more interactive and user friendly, and have different components like how to evaluate, like have a skincare quiz to help you understand like which products would be best for your skin needs.
Yeah.
We're starting to get in on other e-commerce beauty sites. Which I
Mm-hmm.
can't say yet because they're not confirmed. We're still talking.
Yeah.
And then we're taking steps to get into those big box beauty stores, the ones I'm talking about,
Yeah.
big ones in 2024. So it's
Yep.
all moving in the right direction. And I feel like there's so much to do right now, because right now is all the conversations and laying everything out, making
Right.
sure like we have all the right products and the inventory, and working with the buyers of these different places for what they want, getting marketing. I actually hired a creative director, Hannah, and she is amazing. She is my right-hand woman. So that's been huge. And we have a great marketing firm that's helping us with all the outreach and the website,
Gotcha.
and just getting our name out there. So big things in 2024.
That's so exciting. What do you think it is that has contributed to the success of the brand so far in such a short amount of time?
I have to say, not to toot my own horn, but toot. I think it's my passion for it,
Mm-hmm.
that I've had so many different people, be it, an interviewer, a media person, a buyer, somebody that I'm trying to work with, partner with. They've said that I'm so passionate about it. And I think
Yeah.
that really resonates. And the whole brand and the whole idea of SkinRx, which I'm sure we'll talk about, like how I created it and what space I was trying to fill in the oversaturated beauty market,
Yeah.
really resonates with what's happening, in our economy, and with different generations of, like Gen X versus millennials, and or Gen Z versus millennials, and how we're spending our money and what we're interested in.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that, and then the product's just, it's so beautiful aesthetically,
Yeah.
but also just the feedback of people going, my skin has not looked this good in so long. So the feedback that it's a good quality product at like a very reasonable price point.
Yeah.
But I really think the passion for it, and that, I don't know if I'm gonna derail here, but something I do like talking about is, we all know there's so many celebrity driven brands out there, be it beauty, makeup, or,
Right.
skincare, cosmetics, clothing,
Everything.
liquor, and it's
Cat
just
food. Look.
like food, like, and if that person is doing it just to put their name on it and make some money, if they're not passionate about it, they're cutting corners, they're not making good quality stuff.
Hmm.
They're just out to make money for it, or whoever came to them and said, we want to put your name on it. The quality's not there and the passion is not there.
Yeah. You can tell.
And so those brands are dying out, because if you don't have someone that's really invested in making the best, highest quality product that they're excited about, they care about, they would use.
Hmm.
I've heard of a few people who have started liquor brands. I believe, just gonna name drop, like J-Lo
Yes,
has
liquor.
some sort of like flavored liquor. Another one is Blake Lively.
Uh-huh.
They are notorious that they do not drink alcohol.
Oh my God. And I was just about to say, J-Lo doesn't even look like she drinks with those abs. Okay. Like, what are you drinking?
Which is a wonderful thing, but it's like, then how can you put your name on a product that you wouldn't even
Right.
endorsing it, but like you don't drink it. You don't
You
know what
can't
it
even tell me if it tastes good.
exactly. Exactly. And it's happening, of course, in the beauty space too. Another one of my favorite celebrity brand stories, they come out with these lines and they're super expensive. And people try them because they go, oh, so and so's starting it. I
Yeah.
try it. And Brad Pitt owns a vineyard in France.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm sure somebody came to him and said, let's use the grapes from your vineyard to incorporate into a skincare line. Okay. So he has a skincare line. And I saw an interview with him, and a bunch of really seasoned beauty industry professionals wrote this formal letter because, like, in his interview, he was being interviewed, and the person said, so Brad, what's your skincare routine? And he sat back like this and he was like, I don't have one. And it was just like,
Really?
what? Why are you doing this? What are you doing? And there was a letter written that was published by a Beauty Insider Trade online magazine or online
Uh-huh.
blog. And they were just saying, like, don't do this. Don't do this. It undermines all of us that have worked so hard
Mm-hmm.
to build something, to be in this industry, to build something of value for you to just come in and put your name on something.
Yeah, that's sad.
So it's like those brands that are endorsed. And I think that's also true with companies that, it's just big companies that will buy a brand. If they're not passionate about it and they're just buying it because, oh, it was successful, so we're going to take it over, make some tweaks,
They
maybe
know it's going to
down the
make them some
quality of it,
money.
but nobody's really there excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that that's why, I'm still just starting out and I've got a long road to go, but that's what keeps me going. And that's what's helping the brand get out there and
Mm-hmm.
do well.
Yeah. With all the insider knowledge that you have, like ultimately, what was the inspiration and the gap that you were trying to fill with starting Skin RX?
Okay. So, when I was a young person, after my fun little bartending stint in Mexico, um, I moved to Miami, Florida, and I was a professional makeup artist. And then I also went so I could to school to be an esthetician. So I did that for a
Okay.
few years.
Did it at the same time?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Because I could freelance with photographers. In Miami, there's a lot of photographers and they need makeup artists and, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people helping because there's just a lot of that industry down there.
Yeah.
Kind of build a portfolio in makeup. Excuse me. I also, like through college, I would work at different beauty counters like Chanel and MAC, and Bobby Brown was my favorite, back
Nice.
25 years ago. Um, and so I did that for a while. And then my parents said, okay, it's time to get a real job. I'm
Okay.
not paying the bills. So I ended up going into marketing and public relations, and I did that for a while. And then I moved back to Columbus, Ohio, where I'm from, got married, had a family, and I've been doing that for the past decade, a little bit over a decade.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and anybody that knows me knows that I always wanted to start a skincare line. I didn't know why,
Okay.
but I just wanted to do that. I never knew what it would be. So now that my kids are getting a little bit older and I have a little bit more free time, like during the day, then I thought now's the time to start thinking about it. I went through a divorce and I thought now's the time to think about doing something for me. So, I looked around at different manufacturers. I tried products, I just looked around online at what people are doing. And I ended up working with a dermatologist with a manufacturer in Florida
Okay.
to produce a medical grade skincare line. So I had always thought, it's like the highest medical grade. I had a troll online say, medical grade, that's such a marketing term, everybody's saying that. And I'm like, no,
Because
actually,
it is.
it is a real thing.
Yeah.
Medical grade means it's clinically tested, it's formulated in a lab, like it's not organic in my basement, like oatmeal and papaya
Right.
fruit mask, like it's in a lab overseen by, a dermatologist or some sort of doctor, in
Right.
in this field. In my case, it was a dermatologist, of course. And medical grade means that you've been approved to have the highest concentration of active ingredients
Mm-hmm.
product. So if you don't have that, if I have a retinol, then I might have this percentage. Where another brand you find at Ulta, there it is a retinol, but it has a lower percentage in it.
Got you.
Maybe it was formulated without being, in a lab.
Mm-hmm.
So then I came up, with this brand, and I knew what I wanted it to look like. But then I was thinking, because, I go to these med spas and, we all, I don't know about you, but so many people are going and investing thousands of dollars in skincare, in laser treatments,
Mm-hmm.
needles,
Fillers.
injectables, fillers, Botox,
Mm-hmm.
all these things. So I started looking at, looking around at the internet and seeing that Gen Z, like, they're much more educated on what they're putting not only in their bodies, but on their bodies than back when I was, in my early 20s, or,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of 18-year-old to 30-year-old age range.
That's true.
We didn't have SPF, we'd go out all night, fall asleep with all our makeup on. We didn't have a 12-step skincare routine. We had such limited product
Right.
options, and the quality wasn't really there. So this generation, I'm like, they really are looking at what they're putting on their skin, and they're being more preventative than we were.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to the med spas and they're getting the fillers. They're spending $1,500. But a lot of these people, they're just starting out in their career and they don't have the income level to then, okay, you go back, with your nurse practitioner, get all your injectables, you get it done. You go up to the register and then they're like, hey, would you like to buy this, $100 serum?
Right.
I just can't afford that. But then I can make, what I realize is the reality is we're all using like the same 5 manufacturers. I mean, we really are.
That's what I'm starting to realize too with beauty
Then,
products.
then I can buy, because I've been loyal to a lot of those medical grade skincare lines, and my friends use them, for decades. So then I take their product and I look at their ingredients and I look at, how many fluid ounces are in a container, and I look at mine, same, 120, 54.
Right.
And so my whole thing was, hey, if my brand is just e-commerce, I don't have the overhead of a brick and mortar shop with big chandeliers and a beautiful staff of people. And I'm not a plastic surgeon that needs to buy a Range Rover for me and my wife. And, like, I don't need to mark things up
Right.
as
For the
high
lifestyle.
as some other people do with a lot of overhead. I'm small, I'm working just from my computer, and anybody that's working with me is working remotely as well. So we don't have the overhead. So we just mark ours up this much where they're this much.
Gotcha.
So then what I realize is this is such a great product for Gen Z because they want that quality, and they want, and this, as you can see, is as beautiful
It's
as
gorgeous.
the displays you see at the plastic surgeon's office, at the fancy med spas.
Yep.
So I wanted it to have that look. So you could be as proud to have this on your bathroom counter as you would those. And your friends will come over and go, oh, wow, what's that? It's really beautiful. But the quality is there too, but it's a
Right.
lower price point. So that's why I'm like, I don't need to target my girlfriends, right? In our 40s and 50s. We have our brands. Why would I want to compete in that market?
Mm-hmm.
But if I could be kind of like an entry level medical grade for those that are new to it, that don't have, you know, the financial means to spend that much. They still want the quality. And so this is a new brand for a new generation. And so my hope is that this brand will develop with my, you know, loyal customer base that I'm building, and it'll ebb and flow from the feedback that I get. Like, for instance, you know, I have this gel cleanser. It's a chamomile cleanser. It's for all skin types, you know, pretty much good for normal skin types. And so then I would hear feedback that, you know, even in your 20s, 30s, 40s, people are still having hormonal acne breakouts.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, sometimes I need something that's more for my breakouts, for acne prone skin, for oily skin. So I just created a salicylic acid based cleanser for more oily prone or, you know, acne prone skin.
Gotcha.
That's something that I learned based on the feedback that I was getting. So now I'm developing a line for more oily prone skin, because my line right now, it's pretty basic. There's like 10 products. And because I just wanted to keep it simple and kind of just say, okay, here's what SkinRx is, here's what it's about. Now that people are starting to buy it and experiment with it, then we're getting the feedback. I love a little more of this, or, you know, those are great serums. I need, you know, a moisturizer that's a little lighter, you know, if you have different skin types. So that's
Did you start off with 10 products?
I'm sorry.
Did you start off with 10 products?
I did. Now that includes 2 kits.
Okay.
So I have 2 kits that are.
Yes, let's see. I love this. Show and tell.
Yes. So this is our most popular seller because it's that chamomile cleanser, a vitamin C serum, and my favorite, it's more of a night cream. It's called Ultra Benefits. It's not an SPF, but it's so luxurious if you want like that glass skin, or just at night, or after you travel, if your skin's dehydrated, or you had too much to drink or didn't drink enough water. It's so creamy, and just with the serum under it, it just holds everything in, and you wake up so refreshed. So this is our most popular seller because it's kind of like our 3 hero products.
Okay.
And then we also have it in
I love when I get to see the products.
Oh, good. So those are the full size. And then we have like a travel kit, which is so perfect. Again, it's those same 3 core products, but you can put those in your carry-on and get them through, you know, TSA, because they're under, you know, the 3 fluid ounces or whatever it is anymore. So that I think is great. Like a weekend trip, you've got those products. All you need to do is throw in an SPF.
Love it. With the Gen Zers, like what kind of results are they aiming to achieve with their skin? They're not trying to age reverse so young, are they?
They are.
What?
It's wild. It's wild. Young people in their 20s, because they're really, you know, we've got mirrors now, we've got social media, they're seeing their faces so much more. But like I said, okay, so my generation, we didn't do anything. We didn't pay attention, right? Slapped on a bunch of, you know, drugstore makeup and went out.
Yeah.
And they're really looking at their skin and studying it. And they're finding, even in their 20s, little tiny fine lines that they're like, ugh. Or little tiny discoloration spots, you know? They're starting to notice the very first changes in their skin, the very first signs of aging. And they want to be preventative.
Yeah.
Whereas me, you know, I started Botox when I was 30, because then all of a sudden this was like such a deep line, and I'm noticing like, so then my generation, then I have to go get all these lasers to try to kill all the sun damage I did for all those years laying out on my
In
parents'
Mexico.
my girlfriends, in Mexico. So my generation is more corrective, and they're being more preventative. So you're not going to have, so it is really interesting that they really do care about, you know, aging and and correcting now.
Are you ready to reach a whole new audience and skyrocket your brand's visibility? Introducing your golden opportunity. You can advertise your product, service, or business here on the Friends in Beauty podcast. This is the ultimate platform to connect with a vibrant community of beauty enthusiasts, professionals, and trendsetters. Our devoted listeners are passionate about all things beauty, and your message deserves to be heard. Whether you're a makeup brand, a skincare guru, salon owner, or anything in between, this is your chance to captivate a dedicated audience. Imagine your brand's name resonating through earbuds, sparking conversations, and inspiring action. This is your chance to make waves in a sea of possibilities. So don't wait. Step into the spotlight and let your message be heard, okay? Connect with us today at friendsandbeauty.com/advertise to seize your moment on the Friends of Beauty podcast. Don't worry, I'll leave everything down below for you. And elevate your brand, capture attention, and make an impact. I look forward to sharing your brand with my friends in beauty, okay? So let's go ahead and jump back into the episode.
What I loved when I looked at your Instagram page too is that you show men using the products. I feel like when we look at skincare brands, it's mainly if it's not a men's skincare brand, then you only really just see women using it. So I love that you show men using it to show that, you know, anybody, if you have skin, you can use it.
Thank you. Thank you. I think that is such an underutilized part of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not every man cares, but there are plenty that do. And, you know, a lot of times what I've done in my research is I'll go to other people's sites, I'll read what they're saying, you know, what they're about, or,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what their brand is. And so many brands, I feel like I'm giving this away if I'm saying this, but however, they'll specifically say for women.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in this day and age, who does that?
You can't
With
even
so
do that.
many, you know, the whole spectrum of gender, like, why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so that was really important to me. I have a brand ambassador, Julio, that works with us and tries out a lot of our products, and he'll do a bunch of videos on our TikToks, and then I wanted to make
I did see Julio. I thought that was really
oh
cute.
my gosh,
He's so cute.
he's the best. He is the best. He's an amazing guy. So it's been a joy, and we plan to work with him more and more, you know, as we make more money. And like, because that was so important to me. I was like, how do you send a message and say for women? Like, then you just discourage anybody. I mean, I think a man would read that and be like, oh, okay, specifically not for me, moving on.
Right.
But then I don't feel like, again, like gender fluidity, like I don't think you have to have a brand that says for men.
You don't.
And I like my packaging because I think it feels very gender neutral. I think it's very upscale. It looks very medical grade. Like it could be at a doctor's office. It could be, you know, in a high-end retailer's on display, but it's not like floral and pink and like bright colors. Like it's very,
anybody can use it, and I feel that it pulls in any direction gender wise. Yeah, absolutely. How long did it take from when you finally made the decision and said that you were going to do this, like I'm going to come out with a skincare line? How long did it take from the time you went into the lab or, you know, started playing around with stuff to actually launching the brand?
9 months.
Okay.
I
just had a baby, you know.
I have a girlfriend, a very long time industry expert. She writes for beauty periodicals, and she's developing a skincare line too. And when I told her, hey, I'm launching, she's like, 9 months, that's not very long. And I'm a hustler like that. Like,
I love it.
Saw what I want. I did my work. I did my research. I knew what I wanted. I did, and then I kept researching, like, what do I need to put this in place? So I need to hire a web person. I need to hire, you know, a social media person. I need to hire somebody to set up my e-commerce store. Like, I'm just gonna do it. So that was 9 months. And then it's been not quite a year since we launched officially, like website, store open last December. Since December though, since it was officially launched, I feel like has been so much trial and error. Like
Okay.
I've worked with people and then realized they weren't the right fit for me, or it wasn't getting the right quality that I wanted. They weren't really on brand with what I was trying to, do. So, the next step I think will be, so this whole year has really been about like setting things up, getting the brand kind of in place, getting
Yeah.
all the pieces. Now that we're starting to gain more sales, gain more of a following, and now we're going to start being available in other ways, like through other stores, retailers, brick and mortars, e-commerce sites. I think this next year is going to be a lot about feedback.
Okay.
What are people liking? Like we can really start tracking what's selling best, what's not selling at all. What are people raving about that they see results, and what are people like, that's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that'll be interesting. But 9 months, and my girlfriend, it took her like 3 years. And I just thought, because I moved quick, like my dad is my best friend and also my mentor, and he's an entrepreneur, and I really turn to him. He's like my legal counsel. He's my financial advisor. He's the one I turn to ask questions. And he's always said, just do it. And it's not that Nike, just do it, but like, don't think about it, just do it, just go for it, just go for it. And I think that that's maybe why some people take longer, because they might be holding back, they're not sure, they want to keep trying things out. Whereas when I in my gut felt like something was right, I went for it.
Yeah, and they say that success loves speed. Success loves speed. So just go, just get it done. And like you said, I feel like the quicker that you get it done, like you said, now this year is all about the feedback. Like the quicker you get it out there, then you can start making those. You're gonna have to make tweaks and stuff anyway. So just go ahead and do it, and then do what you need to do to make it perfection after you put it out. But when it comes to like the retail side of things, you said you're going to New York. Congratulations on, getting inside of the boutique. But what on your side or your team side has to be done in order for you to be in retail? Because I know you probably had to pack more orders or produce more to fulfill those orders over there, but also fulfill like your e-commerce stuff as well. Like, how are you preparing for retail?
Girl, I was up till 4 a.m. last night on my phone. Poor Hannah, my creative director. I was like sending her stuff at 3 a.m. I'm like, she's gonna think I'm crazy. But I was already starting to think, like, do I hire a bookkeeper, a financial manager, a financial analyst? Like, I'm gonna need somebody now that there's gonna be so many different moving parts to handle, like, where is all the inventory and where is all that money funneling through, and what are we making? And for somebody to start like owning that part.
Yeah.
Because what I have learned as an entrepreneur is, and I've heard this is like a saying, that like a good manager hires good people. Like you can't do it all. You can't do it all and do it well in anything in life, right? So that's why, I love Hannah, and I was able to bring her on board because I was like, I can't think of all these creative ideas and work on packaging and photo shoots and, the social media messaging and timeline. I can't do all that stuff and also meet with buyers, negotiate with retailers, manage the inventory and see what's going in and get the shipping out. There's now that we're getting to different, suppliers or buyers and retailers. I'm going to need somebody to help manage that so I can continue to just kind of oversee the whole thing.
Got you. I love that, because that's where I am now with my brand, is just trying and starting to hire people, because I've been a one woman show for so long. So I feel like with people who want to start like a skincare line, I think it would be important to know like who to have in place, or Like, who do you think is the most important people you should have in place first to like just to get you started?
Depending on your skill set, I think the first person is somebody that understands the internet, because you have to be able to build a site. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
And if you have an online store, set up that online store. I don't know how to do that.
Mhm.
Get on TikTok and make videos. I don't know how to do that. So for it was somebody that could handle the social media slash, behind the scenes technical computer stuff. That was most important to me.
Yeah.
While I could still handle the bookkeeping and the inventory because it was new, and then trying to, work with media and get my name out there and continue to create the brand and find different branding things, be it a box or tissue paper or um cards to include, like, personalized cards. So that to me was the most important. But people have different skill sets. Somebody, might be an expert at social media and be an influencer and know exactly how to, get all that going, but maybe, managing spreadsheets and figuring out budgets and making sure they're keeping track of what's coming in and out. Maybe that's something that somebody would need first, is somebody to come in and say, this is what you've spent, this is what you've made, this is what you have on your shelves.
There's
So I
so
think
many moving parts. Ah.
there is. So that's why, again, I think you have to be passionate and love it. And, when you start small, like you and I, you can't just come out the chute like hiring a whole staff and a CFO and,
Right. Right. Speaking
the
of being
whole time.
passionate,
Yeah.
like speaking of being passionate, I know one thing that I hear a lot of beauty pros talk about, especially like service providers or people who have brands, is like they get disappointed when they put out something and then like their family and friends don't buy it. Has that happened to you? And how do you feel about that? Because I feel like I'll tell you what I say. I feel like a lot of people want other people to be more passionate than they are sometimes. And then some on the other side, I'm like, maybe those people aren't your customers per se, but has that happened to you where you put out this brand and like your friends and family didn't eat it up like right away?
I'm telling you, I never even went there.
Good.
I said when I started this, I'm not going to like shopping parties. I'm not going to make a single friend or family buy a thing.
Good.
Now, when I first came out with it, I have the travel kits and I gave them out to a lot of my girlfriends and my family as a gift, just to be like, hey, I wanted to share this with you, but with no expectation in return.
Mm-hmm.
Because come on, we've been to those parties. We
Yeah.
have those friends with those brands where it's like they're constantly pushing you to buy their stuff and endorse them. And it's like, I think then it can start to interfere with the friendship. So I have always said I'm keeping it separate. That's why I'd rather do e-commerce and sell it too. I mean, I've had sales in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, and I would rather sell to people I don't know. So there's no personal pressure. Never said anything to anyone about, are you going to buy this? Do you want this? Like,
Right.
you should buy this. Like, I didn't want to even put that pressure. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
I
have you
feel
been to
you.
those parties
Oh,
and the girls
oh yeah.
that are
I've
pushing
been
the
to the
stuff?
jewelry parties. I've been to
Yes.
the makeup ones.
No.
I've
You
been
know,
to the travel. Somebody just invited me to like a travel event. And I'm like, I know it's probably one of those things where they're trying to get me to sell travel. I don't want to do that. I'm focused on what I'm doing. But yeah.
yeah.
And then when you get the phone call from them, you're like, oh, do they want to talk or are they trying to sell me something?
Oh my gosh, right? I can't. So for me, it was keeping that completely separate, but in which case, then you have to go out and find an audience, which is
Yeah.
hard, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So then that's where that social media comes in. And, so sometimes you need to like run an ad on Instagram, like you put a post up and you promote it for a day or two and just try to get some traffic. So, I mean, it's definitely harder when you don't have a built-in network,
Mm-hmm.
but that was like the advice part that we are going to get to later. I mean, you just have to be patient and just keep going, and keep trying to, you know, embrace any opportunity like this, like the chance for me to come and speak with you and meet your audience. Like you and I hang out, and then your audience is now exposed to SkinRx and might check out my Instagram, might check out my website, you know, might look it up. Or so I've just kind of let that happen and wanted to build that base.
Yeah, I love that. Being a mom of two, well, like a tween and a teen now, like when is a good time for people to start introducing like a skincare routine to their children? Is it like around this age or sooner?
Puberty.
Okay, puberty.
Because, you know, when they're little kids, you're fine with just like the Johnsons and body wash. You just go like this with their face and it's fine. They're not producing the oils. They're getting dirty and they're getting sweaty, but they're not producing, their oil glands aren't producing acne or buildup under their skin. And now that I'm watching my community, the kids in my community, the middle school age, and things are changing, their skin is changing. And so now's the time to start putting products on their skin that are appropriate for what their skin is going through.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of kids are starting to have breakouts, and now their oil glands are producing oils and dirt, and it's getting, and their pores are changing, so it's getting stuck under the skin.
Yeah.
So it's really important, and that's part of I'm not trying to market too young, but I'm definitely producing this acne based line that would be appropriate if you had a tween or teen that was having breakouts.
Okay.
Because the age reverse system is just ingredients they don't need. They don't need a retinol. They don't need, you know, well, they could use hyaluronic acid, but not really. A vitamin C is good for breakout. So there's some things, but I'm trying to produce like that specifically for, you know, young people going through it and young adults. And also, I mean, there's women my age that are going through hormonal change, right? We're always going through hormonal changes. And some people say, hey, I'm getting a breakout here. I've never had that in my life. And it just started. So,
even with the pandemic, people were getting you know, breakouts from the mask. Remember? That was crazy.
Yeah. But then you could cover it up because then you put a mask on. So
right. It's so crazy. Like the mask is caused it, but then you can still cover it up with the thing that's causing it. Oh Lord. I saw that I think I saw it on your website, maybe, that you also work with young people with mental health issues as well.
Yes, I haven't done that as much, and it's another thing I'd like to get back to. Again, SkinRx has taken over my life. My children always come first, so I put that before everything. But I used to be for many, many years, I was a high school cheerleading coach. And what I loved coaching them and making them better, you know, performers. But what I loved mostly was the connection, because I was somebody that's not their parent, that's not their teacher, that was just kind of cooler and not as influential in their life. Like, and they could really share like what they were going through personally with me.
Yeah.
And where I live, you know, it's a very nice upper class neighborhood community. And a lot of these girls you'd see, and people out there would go, you're beautiful. You have parents at home. You have food on the table. You have a car to drive. You get to go to college. What do you have to complain about? And what I realized is that even in different life circumstances, your problems are still real and they're still valid.
Yeah. Absolutely. Those things don't define anything. Those are just material possessions. That doesn't define like the inner beings of what's going on inside of a person.
And what stresses us out is different, you know, based on our lifestyles. And, you know, the whole school district just sent out an email about mental health and suicide prevention, because it can happen in any community and at any income level. So then I realized that like I wanted to be there for young women like that, to say, I validate you, I see you. Your problems might not be somebody else's problems, but they're yours, and they hurt and they're real.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I've been looking around at different organizations that I, want to partner with, or want to like, give a percentage to support. And I haven't, like, that stuff's really important to me. So I haven't found where I'm going to land yet, but I think in 2024, that'll be another objective, is how can we, partner up with somebody, a cause that makes sense for SkinRx, for myself, for our, our customers. So we're working on that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that as well for Friends in Beauty. But it's just so many things that I'm passionate about, like so many different causes.
Yes, I know. So I don't know. Yes.
I'm like, I could do so many, I can go in so many different directions, but I guess we can if we want. Like, nobody's saying that we can't do that. We can't support multiple, causes that we're passionate about. But yeah.
With so many different moving parts, that's like a whole other area to focus on. I go, well, how much and what do they need, and in what way do I want to support them?
Yeah.
Oh, am I going to provide product for a charity event, for a gift bag? Am I going to give a percentage of sales and send it to that? Like, in what way do I want to support this organization and, not expose them, but like, profile them and let them know that, we support them.
Yeah.
So that's like a whole other area to incorporate and, figure out, is it you that's going to oversee that, or do you have someone on your team? Because I'm like you, like there's several that are really on my mind. And I'm like, how could I do something with, like 3 different, because that is a lot of money. And for a startup,
right.
like I'm not there yet. So once I'm out of the red and actually making money instead of just spending money, that's when I can talk about that stuff.
I feel you. We don't lack ideas. It's just the execution of everything. Because then, like you said, that's another layer of, okay, now I got to hire somebody to oversee that. And that's another person you got to pay. And like, oh my gosh, it just never stops. But it's so much fun.
It is. But you have to love it and you have to be passionate about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is a lot of work.
Yeah. When it comes to your marketing and PR background, how does that come into play with the brand now?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I get that so much. Like, so that really helped so much as I was building the brand and the aesthetic and who my target market was. I knew where I wanted to go. Like, so I've turned down opportunities to speak with somebody or to be in a certain publication because I'm like, no, that's not the right demographic. So just understanding that the whole point of marketing is to like get your message across, to get your audience to pay attention to you, to see you, and then to purchase what you're selling, to hear your story. It's not right for everybody. So to really hone in on, where do I want to be? Like we were in Us Weekly like 2 months ago. Our age reverse kit for like fall must-haves, like you're done with the summer, you want to like clean your skin up and resurface and all this stuff. And I thought, people that are looking at Us Weekly, they're into pop culture, they're into celebrity, they're into lifestyle kind of stuff, be it beauty or fashion. And I thought, those are people that's a good fit for me.
Right. And I love that you say no, because some people feel like I have to say yes to everything, I love that you're saying no to certain things too.
There's been like regional news morning shows, and they're doing gift guides, and it's like a regional morning show in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Thinking, who's up watching that? My parents, you know what I mean? Like, Who's sitting around watching the local news on basic cable?
All
Like,
right, not Gen Zers, no.
wow, like this isn't on Netflix, this isn't on Hulu, like it's just on like the turn on the TV. And so I was like, no, that's not worth it to
Yeah,
put all this time and energy into working with them. I'm not going to get anything from that.
yeah,
That's not
yeah.
my audience. So I think having that familiarity with how marketing and PR works
Mm-hmm.
has helped. And I do have a PR team that I work with, and I probably bug the heck out of them because I'm constantly like nitpicking and so involved, or I'll
Because
find
you
a
know.
lead, or I'll be like, I really want to get in this. I really want to be here. And they're like, we got it. We got it. And I'm like, you
Yes.
send something to these people. It would be so huge if I could get here.
I love that. Also, with the marketing piece, I wanted to ask you about with especially with Gen Zers, well, just the internet in general, it's kind of hard to trust what you see. Like you can't just take everything for face value. A lot of times I just got caught up in like a whole little video the other day, and then you go to the comments and they're like, those are two different people. That's not even the same person. How do you go about marketing your products in a way that is realistic, transparent, like managing people's expectations for their results? Because sometimes you may look at a brand, and I know it's been done before where it may be a skincare product or something, but like in the background, the model may have gotten like Botox or something like that, or may have gotten filler, but you're thinking that you're going to get the result that the model has, not knowing that they have other work done. Like, how do you bypass that or market in a way that's relatable, realistic?
Several things. I really like, excuse me, on our Instagram, we use real life people.
Okay.
If someone buys a product and we can like DM them, or it's a new follower and they ask a question, we'll DM them and be like, would you mind sending us a video, like what you think of this product or how you use it, to show real people using the product.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first marketing agency I worked with, they would use all this stock photography, stock photography, like it's
Yep.
just so generic.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a fake site. It looks fake. So I was like, I want real people on here. And
Mm-hmm.
then, I did a professional photo shoot with the models you've seen that are holding our product. So it's not just a generic picture of somebody like this.
Right.
Photography, like I'm putting lotion on. They're holding up a bottle of Skin RX.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, yes, this is a professional model, but this is a real brand. This is a real product. But also like, Julio, because he's one of our mouthpieces, is we talk to and we quote plastic surgeons who say, like, we very much support the message. And it's something I want to make even more and more prominent, is like, there's nothing wrong with getting injectables
Right.
or lasers or treatments or surgeries. There's nothing wrong with that. And you have to be honest that this skincare is not going to give you the same results. And we've said that, and Julio's talked about it.
Okay.
And I'm very transparent about it too, because people are like, wow, you look younger than you are, and I'm like, I've been doing Botox since I was 30. A stranger to paying a lot of money, and I've had surgeries here, there, and everywhere. Like, I will do it all.
Yeah.
And so I think that's important. And so there are some products that you see advertised like over and over and over again. And they're like, this eye cream, it's better than Botox. No, it's not. And there's a doctor that we follow, a plastic surgeon, and he's constantly talking about that. He's like, no matter what you hear, you cannot fill those wrinkles with a skincare product. Good skincare complements and elongates the effects of whatever you're doing to your skin.
Gotcha.
It enhances the results,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't achieve what surgery can achieve.
Right, right. Because
Or
my
what
friend,
we do. And so that's another thing with the transparency. It's like, being a beauty expert as you are, like, it's so frustrating to see those ads.
Yeah, because my friend sent me this video the other day. She was like, girl, this girl, she was like, look at this. She was like, I hate when they do this. This girl clearly has gotten lipo. I could see the scars. So this girl is showing like her back fat. That's why like, you just can't trust the internet, like unless you just like investigative, like me and my friend, because we see those scars, girl. We know what that look like.
Yes,
But she
yes.
had like back rolls and stuff, and she was promoting this like back routine, and then she shows her back afterwards and she has like no rolls, but me and my friend are like clearly like, girl, we could see the scars from the lipo, but she's promoting these exercises as though like this is how I achieved this
Yep.
thing. So that's why I asked that question too, because I'm like,
You
if
know,
you
I
don't know,
will
you don't
say
know.
I learned this working in public relations, you know, which is when you work with the media or you work with influencers, you work with real people that are choosing to work with you versus advertising. Okay. Advertising, you're paying for that. So you can say anything you want. You can say, this is the best product ever made. You can say that when you're paying for it. But when you work with a media person and I send you this skincare routine, you are a real person and you can say, I really like this. This was okay, but this one's good. And you have a trusted fan base and following because you're a real person. So that is the difference. And that's why I think it's so important to try to do public relations, because you can't, I mean, maybe there's some unethical people out there, but I feel like for most genuine media people that are trying to establish a real platform, and a real, you know, they want to be trusted. You trust what a beauty editor says over what a paid advertisement says. So that's another thing, is like, if it's an ad, they can say whatever they want.
Thanks. Y'all hear that? Do
That's
your research.
There's a brand, a celebrity brand. Sounds like oop. Sounds like it. Celebrity brand. The celebrity comes on with this exfoliator and she says, this is the shit. And then they have these models go, oh my gosh, I've never experienced anything like this. It's a paid advertisement.
Right.
Paid the celebrity to say that. They paid the models to say that. It's an advertisement. I see it all the time. And that exfoliator is like $170.
Goodbye.
What I noticed is in the ads, it's already marked down to $120. Plus they threw in a $358 product to go with it. And I'm like, because it's not selling, because your ad can say you're going to get these results and somebody's going to buy it once. They're going to go, oh, I love that actress. I love that actress. I love her brand. I love her candle. That's, you know, famous candle and all her brand. And then they get it, they try it and they're like, okay, it's okay. It's not worth $170. They've already had to mark it down. And I'm like, because the quality's not there. And she's just trying to make money.
That is crazy. The lines are getting blurred now. I feel like with what's real versus advertisement. I think people are starting to get confused, especially with social media. You just can't tell anymore.
No, and that's absolutely right, because having middle school kids that are on TikTok, I mean, my son, he's in 7th grade, total just like little bro. And he'll be like, Mom, I saw this video, blah, blah, blah. They got their heads chopped off and this and that, and snake ate them and stuff. And I'm like, it's not real. And so it's like this young generation, they're growing up watching things that people are like, look at this really happened in the Amazon. And people like my son that are growing up with the internet, then they're like, well, that must be true because it's online.
Right.
And I have to be like, okay, no, that didn't happen. There's a 2-year-old that threw a football 50 yards, you know, at the Super Bowl. Mom, no, honey, that didn't happen.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Did not happen. You know, there's just crazy stuff on there. But I do think that is the value of PR. And like when I was interviewed I was quoted in CNN Underscored, which is their lifestyle page online,
Mm-hmm.
Us Weekly, or Huffington Post, and I was quoted. When I'm in those stories, that's
Yeah.
a journalist that quoted me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me
Trusted
saying
resources too.
I'm the best, my product's the best. And they're like, this is just a professional and this is her opinion. Here's some tips from her, kind of like you and I are talking.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard for people that don't understand the whole world of marketing to know what to trust and what not. So
Mm-hmm.
my best thing to say is if it's an ad, just remember they can say whatever they want.
Yeah. Just trust the credible resources.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's crazy. One last thing before we go, I want to circle back to the challenges that you said you were having with like certain people on your team and just putting out certain fires within this first year. Like how do you go about firing somebody, like, or letting somebody go, telling them like this is not, this relationship is going to end. I'm going to move forward.
Well,
Or you get somebody else to do it.
believe it or not, no, because everything in this business, I'm like, I need to do it. I need to like that stuff's really hard. I call my dad because he's a ball buster, right? And as a leader, and even with my team that I'm happy with, that I love, there's a time and place when you have to be like, I need this from you. Like, I need you to do better
Mm-hmm.
to finish this. And I think that it's just, and then I think it's hard being a woman because, what do people say? Like, when we speak up, we're a bitch,
Mm-hmm.
when
Yeah,
men do, they're respected.
they're a boss.
That still carries over. And so that can be very hard for me, right? Because we're like, I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to be considered a bitch. But I think it's finding that balance of speaking professionally, speaking like firm, just presenting your point unemotionally,
Mm,
just kind of being like, thank you for all you've done. Moving forward, I'm going to take another path. Here's my 30-day notice, blah, 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 blah.
yeah.
And it's just like, you have to do it. I think being honorable and just trying to be appreciative. So you're saying it in a respectful way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then just like honoring, the remainder of your contract or whatever you have to do, but just, so I think like, it's like, because most of the people I work with are independent contractors. So it could be month to month, or it could be a 3-month contract, and just being aware of that. So if you see like this isn't starting to work out, that you're starting to count the days for when you're going to get, like, if you need to give them 30 days notice, you need to, otherwise they're going to say, no, you didn't give me notice. You need to pay me another month.
Right,
There's some
right.
jerks out there. And so that is hard. I did have a situation like that where they said, no, you need to pay us this much. And then I had to go back to my dad and say, what do I say? And kind of negotiate something and say, listen, I did give you notice. You want to say that, oh, well, now you needed to give me this much notice and that's not right. Here, I'll cut you. We'll do 50-50 and go our separate ways. And that one ended kind of sourly. But I just tried to do my best to honor my agreement.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting what you want, you have to speak up. And I think why it hasn't worked out with several different people, different contractors, is like when things aren't starting to go right, you have to be able to voice your opinion and go, you know what? I don't think that style is working for me. Can you not post that? I'd prefer to see more of this. Or I think these colors aren't. So you give them like, you got to give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And then they keep doing what they're doing. And then you say it again. That's when it's like, okay, this isn't working.
Right.
And that has happened with several times with several people. And it's so frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm saying these words to you. You're going, okay, but you're continuing to do what you do. This is not working. Very frustrating. And that's what I say, lots of like, trial and error, because then I'm like, I'm wasting money. I have to spend another month with this person producing garbage. Like, it's not what I want. It's not on brand.
Right.
I mean, I had this one
You gotta go.
young lady that was doing social media. And, I like to use real people and reach out and say, hey, and she kept putting herself on there. And I'm like, I did not hire you for this page to be all about you.
She was posting herself on the Skin RX page.
Yeah, like, I have real people.
Yeah.
It's like 3 different posts of her. And I was like, no, you're not the face of this brand. Stop putting yourself on here. I didn't ask for that. So they're gone. They're gone. You won't see them on there.
That's interesting. Very the joys
Yeah,
of
and it
being
was just like, I've asked you once, I've asked you twice. I've
now you gotta
asked
go.
you, and I've also said, like, I want my brand, it's not like a bubbly, like, hey girl, kind of like, like,
Mhm.
like, it's not like a cutesy brand. I want it to be professional, and I want to speak, from a very knowledgeable place and provide like education. And she just kept like posting on other people's sites on behalf of my page, just being like, love this, so cute. And I was like, again, not the voice.
Right, not the brand voice.
It's like you keep telling this person, so then you finally have to be like, thank you so much, I appreciate it, here's your 30 days notice. Bye.
Yeah, go work for some other brand. I don't know. I'm trying to think of little
Right.
cutesy brand, but
There's a place for her, but it wasn't, it's hard when you have an objective and you come in and go, this is what I want it to look like, here's samples, and then they just can't accomplish that.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. Gotta go. Period.
Yeah, we'll talk about those separately on a private call.
Yes,
share more of the inside stories.
I'm loving this conversation so much. But Colleen, like at the end of the day, like what do you want your legacy? Have you thought about that? I guess with kids and everything, like what you want your legacy to be with being like a business owner and what you want to leave behind?
I really want to be a success story. I want to make this brand. My dad said, he answered it for me. I said, Dad, I want this brand. He goes, you want to make $1 million? And I said, yeah. And then if and when I hit that, then we'll see. But, through the losses I've had in my life and things that haven't gone my way, I want this to be a success story. And for myself, my children, my family, people just in the world and customers, I want them to go, wow, like she produced this, she came up with this, and it's really great. And it's all over the place. And I really like it. Like, I think she's a great leader in this industry. She's really stands by her product. She stands up for it. Like, it is like my baby. And I think that that's where I find that strength to confront if a contractor's not going right, because I'm like, this is mine and I want it to succeed. So I'm protecting the reputation of it, just like I protect my kids. If someone messes with them,
right, that's your baby too,
they get a talking to. So I told my dad, he said $1 million, and I was like, yeah, $1 million, sure, we'll get there. I said, I want to have enough to buy myself a cottage on the beach in Nantucket.
Yes, I love
That's
that.
the goal. That's when I've made it. But I do want to see it nationwide. I want it to be in other countries. Like, I really want it to be a national and international brand. And I think over the next year, it's really going to happen.
It will be
growing. And I'm going to be a real leader in, medical grade skincare. That's what I would love.
Yes, I absolutely love that. Your passion for it shows and everything, like your passion, your dedication, like you said, the speed that you came out with it, like you're not playing any games out here. So I have no doubt that your brand would be a global sensation for sure.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. Well, if I keep pushing, I'm a saleswoman too. So, I've done the creative. I have someone owning that. Now I just want to sell it and get it everywhere, because I believe in it. It's good quality. The aesthetic is there. And now it's time to get it out. Get it out in stores, get it out in Canada, a store, a big retailer in France. Like, I want to get it out.
Yes, foot on the gas. Well, before you go, I have to ask you the Friends in Beauty rapid fire questions.
This is
So,
so fun. I could just talk to you all day.
oh, me too. I'm really enjoying this. So, whatever comes to your mind first, just spit it out. If you need to elaborate, you can for sure.
Okay.
You're gonna be great. So, what are the first one? What are the top three keys to your success so far?
Number one, patience. It's not going to happen overnight.
Okay.
Strength. Like you
Mhm.
have to be able to have those hard conversations and to speak up and to take those risks and to pitch your brand and talk to new people. You have to have, so I guess more courage,
Mhm.
patience, courage, and passion.
Patience, courage, and passion.
Okay. We've talked about that so long. If you're not behind this and you're just here to make money, it's going to die. It's not
Yeah,
going
so true.
to gotta care.
Yes, yes. How do you measure your success?
My dad asked me that a long time ago.
Really? Your dad seems really cool. Shout out to your dad, Julio and Heather.
You. Um, I think success is different to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that there's a monetary number for me. Maybe there's for some people, but I think it's the end of the day, being happy with the person you are and the things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like being the best mom I can be makes me so proud of myself.
Yeah, because it's not easy.
You know, winning little coups, like even just getting like 2 sales this morning. That's the success for today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it can be big, it can be little, but it's just like at the end of the day, whatever makes you feel good and proud of yourself. I think
Yeah.
success is more of like a feeling than
Like
because
a
yeah,
tangible thing. Yeah.
my dad has said, how many times am I going to bring up my dad? I love him. At the end of the day, when you're on your deathbed, your car's not going to be there.
Okay.
Your big house isn't going to be there. It's the people that are going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So like all that stuff's nice and fun to have, but you want to feel good at the end of the day. So I think success is more that you feel like you've achieved what you want to achieve. And
Yeah.
that's different for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. What is the best advice you've ever received or a piece of advice that's just always stuck with you?
Just do it. Just go
Just
for it.
do it. Yep.
Just do it. Just go for it. Don't think
Mhm.
about it. If you think about it too long, you're going to talk yourself out of it.
Yep.
You're going to overthink it. Take that risk. It's a risk. You mess up, then you move forward. You
Mm-hmm.
fix it and you move forward.
Yep.
And that's why I think I have the life that I do because I've been willing to take those risks and not overthink it.
Mm-hmm. I love it. What advice would you give to another brand owner right now who is just not seeing the results that they want in their business and they're just ready to give up? I'm like, maybe I should just go back and just stick to the corporate life.
I think that's a time to really turn to friends and family and say, "Can you help me?" Because I think that that's really a psychological thing. Am I
Mhm.
passionate about it? Do I want to stick with it? Because all the people that have told me that I've talked to, they're like, it can take 2 to 3 years for your brand to really take off.
Mhm.
And it takes so much time and so much money. So do you really want to stick with it? Do you believe in it enough to really stick with it?
Yeah.
Or did you really not do your best, like creating it and it's just not going to happen? And that's okay. You know, maybe it's not your path, but that's the time to like talk to somebody as like, you know, a sounding board.
Yeah.
What am I doing? You know, we need help, we need support.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be such a hard place to be in, to go, it's not working. I love it. I really wanted this to work. I'm not feeling good about where I am. Talk to people that love you, that can be honest, that want to support you and either figure it out
Mm-hmm.
or help you come to terms with this isn't the path for me. That's what
Yeah.
I'd say. Reach out.
Yeah, I like that advice a lot. I like that. What is a resource that helps you or has helped you in your business that you can share with the Friends in Beauty community?
A resource.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to give away my secrets?
Just one little one.
Um, the internet is your best
It
resource.
really is everything.
I mean, I've done everything, just Googling, reading articles, looking at other brands' pages, reading their owners' bios, looking up, Googling questions. How do I get into this store? How do I, like last night, I'm Googling, like, what person do I need to help me with finances? What
Mm-hmm.
role is that? How do I find a part-time bookkeeper? Where do I look for that? And then looking at those websites, there's
Yeah.
so many different platforms for anything. I need a social media manager. Here's a platform that can connect you with those people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I need a bookkeeper. Here's a platform I need to set up a Shopify store. Here's a platform for people that are experts in that. So it's just like constantly looking around, asking questions around the internet because I know nobody in my world, my friends and family have built a, beauty skincare line.
Right.
I can't ask them, how do I get into these retailers?
Mm-hmm.
How do I set up an online store for this?
Right.
I think the internet
I
it's just
agree.
constantly asking questions and looking around and reading what are the trends, like following those special, websites.
Mm-hmm.
Beauty Independent is, if somebody's in the beauty space, there's a site called Beauty Independent, and they have so many industry specific articles. I mean,
Ooh.
all day long, constantly. And it tells you about different trends and where the market's moving and brands that are growing, brands that are dying. And
Okay.
that's so that specifically is somewhere that I get a lot of information on what's going on in the industry.
Okay. See, I like that. Beauty independent. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna check that. I've never heard of that before. So
Oh
I'm
my gosh, girl, because it's not just skincare, it's beauty too,
uh-huh.
cosmetics brands. And they're constantly letting you know, like, which ones aren't working out,
Uh-huh.
who's getting sued,
Ooh, the tea.
like, yeah, yeah. Like one big company, I'm not familiar with them, but they just all of a sudden, they were an e-commerce beauty brand and they were pretty reputable and they just shut off business and they owe all their buyer or all their suppliers like thousands of dollars and they
Wow.
expose them. And that's where I read about the Brad Pitt article. So it's just a lot of insider information, like what's going on in the industry, the good and the bad.
Okay.
And they also mentioned trends like how people are moving away from natural and organic skincare to medical grade science based because they're
Mm.
not seeing the results as much as people are like, I don't want to put chemicals and this. But like I said, like an oatmeal papaya mask that I made in a blender in my basement is not gonna give you the same results
Mm-hmm.
as, products with active ingredients made in a lab.
Yeah.
That's a shift. Again, like the celebrity brands, like
Wow.
a lot of those are dying out.
Wow. Okay. As soon
That's
as
some
we hop
tea.
off,
That is some tea. That
it
is like
is.
sometimes I see an article and I'm like, whoa, open right now. What? So that yeah, beauty independent, shout out.
All right. Okay. So I'm checking it out as soon as we log off. But the last one, I just want you to fill in the blank for me and just say, my name is blank. And the key to longevity and success is whatever you think it is personally.
These on the spot questions. I think I'm doing
You're
okay.
great. You're amazing. She's It's like getting it together. Mm-hmm.
I think it's like the 3 keys. So my name is Colleen Carey, and I'm the founder and creator of Skin RX, a medical grade skincare line. And I believe the key to longevity as a business owner is passion. Because there's going to be hard days that you just don't feel like checking those emails, or you got to deal with this question and fill out these forms or whatever. But if you love it, that will keep you going.
Absolutely. Passion is the key. This has been such a great conversation, Colleen. I don't even want to let you go, but I can't be selfish. I know your kids need you too. But before you go, please share like your social media, your website, wherever you want people to go to connect with you, follow your journey, and get some of these products.
Well, we're on Instagram and TikTok at both of them at skin.rx.skincare.
Okay.
And our website is skin-rx.com. The website, right? It's the old one. It's garbage. We're working on a new one. So if it doesn't look great, I know. We're going to launch our new one soon. And we have lots of retailers that people will be able to find us in shops and on different platforms in the months and in the next year.
Awesome.
Lots more updates. And girl, call me anytime.
Yes.
We can just have a combo. We can just talk and dish.
I love it. I love it. This has been great. I'm definitely going to stay in contact with you. Let me know when you come to DC and we can go, peruse and see what we can see out in these streets.
Shout out to Tanisha, my best friend in DC, because I know she's going to watch this.
Hey,
now I got to come see you.
She got to come through. But thank you again so much for sharing with us. And I wish you much success. I can't wait to see how your brand is going to blow up.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on.
You're welcome.
So fun. I definitely have a new friend in beauty.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Friends in Beauty podcast. Don't forget, sharing is caring. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with another friend in beauty. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe, rate, and leave a 5-star review so that other friends in beauty can find the show. Plus, we'd love to hear your feedback. Connect with us on all social media platforms at Friends in Beauty, hashtag Friends in Beauty to join the conversation, and join our Friends in Beauty Facebook community to stay connected. Talk to you soon.